Hi everyone, I'm Jody Hand, Mrs. Hand Painted, and welcome to my channel here on YouTube. Today I'll be doing another Christmas card design for my Christmas in July Christmas cards, and this one is really fun and pretty, kind of a classic cardinal design on a berry branch. And I'll break this down for you so that you can make it too, and I'll show you how you can do a little bit of brush lettering on here as well with your watercolor brushes. So have fun painting along with me, and if you painted one of my watercolor designs from my channel, I would love for you to share it with me. Please tag me on Instagram, Mrs. Hand Painted, or you can visit my website, mrshandpainted.com, and check out some of my other designs that I have available in my Etsy shop, as well as just on my Instagram account, and check out what I've been painting. So have a great time painting along with me. Thanks for watching.
I'll just quickly go over my supplies that I'll be using today. Once again, I'm using these Strathmore watercolor cards in the size 5x7. I'm just leaving that flat while I'm painting my design, and I'll fold it when I'm all done. This is a Princeton Neptune round size 4 brush, and I'm getting on my palette some burnt umber mixed kind of with a little bit of sepia. I'm just trying to get myself a nice dark brown. And we're going to go ahead and start out by painting the branches that we'll be building our berries around, and just kind of start on one side so the branch is coming off from the side, and just make some different lines and have them kind of, uh, when you're getting out to the edge of your brush, apply less pressure when you get to the end of the branches. I'm sorry. Uh, Start out more pressure and then release the pressure so that you don't have as thick of a branch line. Now I'm got that all down. I'm going to mix up kind of a burgundy color. So what I want to do with that is I'll take a deep red and I'll mix a little bit of violet with it to make myself kind of a burgundy or maroon color. And I'm making these little berries and I'm just going in a circle, but I'm leaving a little white spot on them. So just pick up a point of where you want your white spot to be and just copy that on every single berry so that your white reflective area that you're doing, your little reflection to make those look more round, is in the same spot, because your light would be coming from one direction only. If you have your little white marks all over the place, it's just going to look a little odd. So make sure you're trying to leave that little white reflective area on your berries in the same location every single time. I chose kind of the upper left side, and I'm just going around and adding little berries all over these branches around it. If your brown was still pretty wet, you might want to wait for that to dry so that you don't have your red bleeding into your branch. Mine seemed to dry pretty quickly. I didn't have too much water on that when I put my brown down. And if you want to have some coming in kind of in front of the branch, just kind of randomly, I'm just putting them around and doing a few little clusters here and there and trying to do a few that are a little bigger and some little almost dots, little tiny berries, and then adding some bigger ones in there. I'm just kind of freehanding this. I'm just adding randomly. They don't need to be perfectly round. And any area you feel is just a little bit bare, just add another couple berries in there. Just take a minute back every so often and just take a look. And I don't want to spend hours and hours making this so perfect. This is a greeting card. It's not a piece that I'm hanging on my wall. I just want this to be a really quick, easy design that I could replicate many times if I wanted to. So that's my philosophy with greeting cards, is a lot of people are not saving these for years and years or framing them on their walls. Yeah, I just want to make some quick and easy designs that I know people will like, and they'll hang them up for Christmas season and then they're done. So now the next part I'm doing is the cardinal, and I'm just going to pick kind of a scarlet red color here, and I'm just kind of making the general shape of the bird, and I'll add the little black parts just to show the beak here. So it's kind of like a pointed head and then an oval for the body. And then just a little wisp there at the end, just a little point coming out for the tail. And then I'm just adding a little more of a beak area there. It's kind of hard to see. It's not super perfect looking at all. This is just the general outline of a bird. I'm gonna dry that really quick so that I can go ahead and add my little details over the top. I just have to add that little the black face of the bird, and then I'll use a white gel pen to make the eye. So I'm just switching over to my round size one, so I have a little bit of a smaller brush. I'm just kind of filling in almost like a a diamond shape there, and I'm just adding a couple little lines down at the bottom, very tiny, to indicate his little feet. And I'm just making that little black mask that cardinals have. I'm just kind of wanting this to just give the idea that it's a cardinal. It doesn't need to be, it's so tiny that it doesn't need to be super detailed. So just trying to do the general look of the cardinal. And if you didn't want to do the bird on the branch, go by all means, just omit that part if you're not confident in just freehanding and throwing a little bird on that branch. Because honestly, I, it was kind of an afterthought putting that bird on there. So I was like, oh, I'll add a bird. And I've just got a white gel pen that I'm going to add a little dot for his eye, making sure my pen works here. They get a little dried up. There, just a little dot. All right, so the next part is to put a sentiment on there. I'm going to write Merry Christmas. I'm going to use that same burgundy color that I mixed up for my berries. And I'm just going to write that out with my pencil again. This is a Faber-Castell graphite aquarelle pencil. So I'm writing that out just so I make sure I get my spacing correct. I don't run out of space, especially there on the corner. I got really close there to the edge, and that was a close one. And I'm just going to take my round size 1 brush here and go over the top of that with that same burgundy color that I mixed up with the red and the purple, and just go over top of that. And there's lots and lots of tutorials out there on brush lettering if you're wanting a little help. Basically, the main idea that I do is I trace over my pencil lines, make sure that I get my spacing correct, my letters aren't squished together, I don't run out of space on my page. With this, then, for when you're going down, you want to apply more pressure so that you get a wider stroke. As you go up, you'll have less pressure to have a thinner stroke. And of course, you can always just go back over your paint if you don't get a thick enough line that you desire. And just make sure you're trying to do that while it's still wet, because you will get a harsh line if it is still if it's dry and you go back over it, then you might have some color discoloration that you don't desire. So I just keep reloading my brush because it's a size 1. It doesn't hold a lot. So I can maybe do 2, 3, sometimes 4 letters before I have to reload and just go back over here. I'm just kind of touching up a couple of those letters I wanted a little bit of a thicker stroke on. And that's something I'm always practicing here. I'm trying to get better at lettering. For me, writing it out in pencil is essential because I just don't think I could do this without seeing how much space those letters take up first. Maybe if I do this all the time, I would have a better feel for it. But right now, that's my best tip on if you're just starting out with lettering, is just to go ahead and write it out in pencil first to make sure that it fits properly and that your sizing and your letters are all the right size and spacing is good. All right, I'm just going to dry that, and that card is all done. And if you liked my video, please hit like on here and subscribe to my channel. I'll be adding lots more Christmas card videos here for the month of July for my Christmas in July series. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming videos. Oh, and my last little step, I guess, after I dry that was just to erase my extra pencil, because I did kind of, as I was painting that, I did end up getting a little bit closer together on my letters, and I wanted to try to get away from that corner a little bit more. So just erasing off the rest of that pencil with a kneaded eraser. All right, Merry Christmas in July. Thanks for watching, everybody.